Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. My name's Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Demonstrator in Karaka Lakes, Auckland. And tonight, oh, excuse me, we are going to make a card using the floating frame technique. Now, let me just refresh my page so I can see if anyone joins me. I did forget to put up a reminder, so I'm not sure if anyone joins me, but we'll do it anyway. Let me just move this over a little bit. So we're going to use the translucent florals, which is in the new mini catalogue that comes out on the 5th of September. So that was a sneak peek that we were able to purchase, and then it has some matching dies as well as some extra dies. And then we're also going to use these three colours, Lost Lagoon, Fresh Freesia and Bubble Bath. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to stamp out our, just use a quarter piece of card. I'm sure that's what I've got here. Yep. And we're just going to stamp out images so that we can cut them out. And so I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon and those, and then I might also use that one as well. Alright, so let's grab some, might need a bigger block. That one. Hi Andrea. How are you? Alright, we're doing the floating frame technique today. Not sure if that's one that you've seen before. I actually haven't got one pre-made, so we're doing it. I have done one, but not for a while. So we're just going to stamp some of our flowers. Watching athletics and me. Athletics is possibly going to be a little bit more exciting. Alright, so let's do some small flowers. We just need to make sure that we've got, I'm going to do the bubble bath as well. We might need an extra piece of card. We're just going to do a pile of these that we can cut out. Well, I felt a bit like my day's been pretty unproductive, but it was a bit of a mess crawling out of bed this morning. It's good that it's been a productive day, though. It's always nice to end the weekend feeling like you've achieved something other than work. It's been a pretty full-on week last week, so yeah, haven't done anything, and I didn't even have the brain capacity to get organised for tonight. So, well, I decided what we were going to do, but not pre-made one or anything. So maybe if I go this way, I might be able to fit it in a bit better. Is there dies for that? Because if there's not, I'm not going to cut them out. Yes, there are. Hopefully. Not too close to other bits. That didn't get cleaned very well. I think I need to re-moisten my chamois. It's not coming out very clean. I just ordered another one, so. Oh yeah, well that's true. You have a lot of sports and things on the weekend, don't you? Nice to be able to do some stuff around home though. When you're not normally around home. Alright, so what we're going to do is Hello Lisa, no problem. I'm sure there were some interesting ones in the grapevine. There always are on those things. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to get our, I'll bring it over, Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Since it's lots of them, I'll bring the big one over. Move my chair out of the way so I can get this lined up, and we can cut as much as possible on the first run through. Maybe I'll do that one. I have a feeling that's going to be not quite. Oh yeah, there is enough space. Now a little trick, if you've got these dies, these holes here, if you line them up so that you've got your stalk in the middle of them, my plate's a bit bowed, you should get it lined up where it should be. I was thinking also of doing one with what's it called? Oh yeah, that is sad, isn't it, Lisa? Our one's the same. Doom and gloom. It's sad that people need to be doing that and ruining other people's property and things that they've worked hard for. Okay, so we're going to pop that in, roll it through. Oops, that's a little bit out of alignment, but mind, it's not too bad. We can work with it. Now, I was thinking about this as I was doing it. I just got one more to do, but I was thinking you could actually use images from your DSP. Would look really cool in this technique. Now, I'm sorry I don't have one to show you a preview of what it's going to look like, but I'm sure once we get it done, you'll see. And so one of the things that you do need for this technique that I've used is a product called Press and Seal. It's kind of like a Glad wrap type thing made by Glad. And you can use it on your containers and things to seal bits and pieces into dishes and things. But I was thinking about it, and you probably don't need that if you've got masking paper. You can also use post-it notes, but you just need a lot of them. So, I haven't decided what kind of background I'm going to have, so I'm just going to cut another piece of white, which is where my pieces are going to go. So let's just cut a base, not a base. This is going to be, let's go 3/4. And then so let's go there for now. I feel like that might not be the right size, but oh, that's right. That should be okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to pop these pieces. Oh, I might have to trim around that. That one's alright. It's not going to be that bad, but I'll just trim around these leaves a bit. I think there's a bit much white on them. So we'll just create a bit more closer so that it matches on the other side. Because I either didn't line it up or it moved after I lined everything up. It's lucky it doesn't cut that bit out actually. So I'm just trimming the edges so that they're all the way. This is a really lovely set too. It's what we call a distinctive set, and so it has lots of detail. It's not a flat stamp set. You know, it's got the different layers of colour, different depths of colour, which is really nice. So I'm going to start by, actually I'm just going to put that coming off the side, and then we are essentially creating a frame. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. We might want a few more. Just to fill it up a bit, because essentially you can use it as a frame or you can use it as a piece that for the inside piece. And so I'm going to put some, try and balance that a little bit and have that there. Oh, I've ended up with two purples on one side. That's not what I wanted to happen. No, I've done the same thing again. If I move that one and put that there, then let's put that there and that there. Alright, so we're going to pop that in there like that. Alright, so it's just kind of, you could do more pieces if you wanted to. Sorry, I've just realised that I've been working out of the majority of your camera shot. So let me move that down. So you got that like that. It doesn't matter if you've got pieces hanging off. You're going to pop them on there like that. And so this is press and seal. It's a Glad product, so it's for leak proof, airtight and multi-surface. So it's essentially like a clear plastic. Oops. No, I was going to try and grip that, but the blade is obviously in a different place. So you just need enough to cover. Now, I think mine's getting a bit old. Last time I used it, it was very tacky and it actually ripped my project. So you've got to be a little bit careful. Let's hope that this has got enough tack on it. So you want it to kind of sit all the way in there. Alright, I'm just going to cut off some of that excess. Now, a couple of options. You want to cut out a centre piece, which is obviously how you get the frame. But you could use your trimmer and cut through the layers, or you could, I like to keep a bit hanging off so that I can get a really good grip of it to get it off. So essentially you're going to make two cards with this as well. Alright, so we're just going to have it on there. Now, if you didn't have this press and seal, if you've got the masking tape, which is Stampin' Up's masking tape, you can use that and just pop it over the top of it. It's all it is just keeping those in place. What you also need, or what you could also use, is some post-it notes. Alright, and then what we're going to do is, I bought these, but I don't think that's the ones that I want. rectangle dies. So these are the deckled rectangles, which have taken the place of the retired stitched ones. I've bought them to replace them. So we're just going to use them to cut. And we want to make sure, even if it's not stuck real tight to that, you want to make sure that it's stuck really tight to the background so it doesn't get picked up. So when we pick it up, it's not all going to fall off. Alright, try not to press it too hard on your stamped images, because there is a chance that it will tear the objects. So I'm thinking maybe this one will give us maybe this one. You still get to see the outside of the frame. It's not quite big enough though, is it? Kind of need one in between. So maybe if I did, maybe. Now you can obviously make your frame, your base piece as big or as small as you want it, and then that's going to depend on where you, I'm just going to move these down a little bit. If they overlap, that's fine. I'm just going to pop that there, and I'll come up here a bit so I can get a bit more greenery in the actual frame part that I wanted to use. Alright, so that bit's a bit more open. You obviously, if you had smaller pieces, could fill this in and then you can use it on your second card. My one doesn't look like there's going to be much in the second card. So I'm going to pop that on there so we get a decent amount of image around the frame. Maybe, I wonder if I make that smaller. This is one of the nice things, is that it all comes, it's supposed to hold these bits on. So if I move that, oh hello, what are you doing up here, Ella? Make that 3.5. And make that 3 1/4. And now I have a dog under the desk with me, so if I start, can you hear noises? Oh, she's gone away now. Oh, now we can reassemble this. Have it so that it doesn't matter if they stick or they don't stick, or it's filled up or it's not filled up. Because let's put this one over here. If they're hanging off the side, it doesn't matter. And then we'll put this one. What will happen is when you do your frame, you'll get to see parts of all of it. Alright, let's move that just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to pop this back on. Hope you're still with me. The static has got it, but that's right, it's enough to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing. Okay, if I take that one now, it's too big, so now I can use that one. It's still not going to give me a massive centerpiece, but that's okay. So I'm just going to run this through the cut and emboss machine, which I've now put away where it lives, so I will just quickly do that. doing, Ella? Okay, so I've got a piece of Lost Lagoon and I've got a piece of fresh Freesia. I've cut my frame. So I'll just put that to the side. Go this way. No, actually I'll go this way. Because I don't know that I definitely need 2 bases out of this. Okay, so these are going to be our 2 bases, that way, and let's go that way. So what we're going to do is we've got our 2 pieces here, like so, alright, and they're still stuck to the frame piece, and we'll start with this one, and you're going to very carefully, I'll do this so you can see. Now obviously that little bit, sorry, that's very close and you can't see anyway. So I'm just going to try and get the plastic because of the frame. And we want the pieces to stay onto the mask or the press and seal that we're using. So you want to make sure that you're carefully pulling off each of the pieces, like so. Now, you're going to need dimensionals for these little pieces. I'm just going to use little dimensionals. That one is going to be a 1/2 of a dimensional, and then these ones, you want to make sure it's balanced as well. Actually, I've changed my mind about where I'm putting this. Oh. Took the backing off and not the dimensional, which was clever. So you've got to make sure that every piece has, done that again, has some adhesive, alright? And obviously some are going to need more than others because they're bigger pieces. Alright, so I feel like I need a 1/2 one. So just cut through there. It'll give me a 1/2 to put here, and a 1/2 to put there. Now I was going to put it on the Lost Lagoon, but I think what I'll do is I'll put that one, and then I'll have a mat of this one. So let's go 3.5 by 4.5. This. Let's see what that's going to look like. So we have this. No. 3 by 4.5, and then let's just see if we're happy with that. Actually, I feel like this needs a little bit of a emboss. We might go a little bit over time, ladies. I hope you're alright with that. Nothing else pressing that you need to be at. So let me just run this through Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there like that, glue that down. So this is from the Stripes and Splatters piece, in it fits in the mini machine as well, so that's a nice something just to give a bit of texture. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take off our pieces. There, there, there and there. It's eerily quiet. Alright, so let's just double check. I'm not going to bother with that bit. That'll just be something that we miss out on using. Alright, so I mean, you could have it this way if you'd prefer. I'm going to put it this way so it kind of layers the centre. And we're just going to pop that on there. Get it all nice and even, not quite. If I go this way, it's easier to line it up. Right, once you're happy with the placement of your pieces, you're just going to press down so that the adhesive takes place, and then you're just going to very carefully lift that plastic. If you have just bought a new roll, mine's been sitting in my cupboard for a while actually. I think my sister-in-law found some for me. So this wax paper, that was really hard to find a while ago, and it was a big craze in crafting. So you can see how easily something would tear. I'm not taking that off. Something would tear yeah, especially if you'd spent time colouring stuff in and things. So here's your plastic, you're going to get rid of that, and then that's your card. It looks a little bit weird with the inside pieces with the flowers that I've chosen. You could have put it on a piece of white and stuck it up, but it doesn't really you're going to make a zucchini loaf. Nice. I'm going to leave that as it is. I might come back to it and do some more. This one, I actually am going to cut along here because I don't want to use those bits, or I don't want them to be hanging off the frame like that. So essentially you want to have that idea of there being a frame without a frame there. Okay, that's the concept that we're going for. So use these scissors to cut through the plastic. Once you've got the plastic cut around the edges, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to really carefully pull. Start in an area that doesn't actually have any image under the plastic so that you've got a bit more scope. No, that doesn't work either. Right. If you've got a piece that's overhanging that you've just cut off, then you can pull on that. And then you're just going to grab this. That's all going to come off in one piece without anything ripping. You now have a frame for something else you might want to. I would trim that up, but that's just me. because it doesn't look great. And then we're going to do the same thing here. So big ones. That's good. That is very good, because salt and sugar incorrectly is quite unpleasant. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you've got those quantities correct. I thought zucchinis were quite expensive at the moment. Have you got a garden with them in, Andrea? I do know that when we grow them that we have an abundance, but we haven't got any this year or this time at the moment. Maybe there. I don't know. I don't know very much about gardening. Matt does that, not you. Put one there. Remembering to try and keep this balanced, because this is all that is holding your pieces on to the base to create that frame. So you want them to be kept nice and even. So it does use a lot of adhesive. Came off on my finger. That is, excuse my sniffing and my coughing. Just can't seem to get rid of this damn cold. Some days I feel really good. Oh, frozen from last year. Oh, that's clever thinking. Yeah, every time I think I've got this cold beat, it comes back. So irritating. Piper's had like 2 weeks off. She goes for a week and then she has another week off because she gets sick again. There's a little one right there. Okay, so this is going to go here, I think. I'm going to pop that on there like that. So now the task of removing all of the little bits. One of the nice things with this tape is this presence. Oh no, that didn't work. Is it's slightly sticky, so it can hold on to those little pieces. But it also sticks to your finger. Thank you to Karen and Jill and Andrea for putting in a card this week from last Sunday. I like how you all made it as an actual on a normal card base and just put that as a front accent piece. I actually when I was doing mine, I had a, what did I have? I had a request just before I went live for some cards, and so I ended up being able to use that card and then making another one similar. Alright, and they were very well received. Alright, so let's go this way. We'll put that on. Hopefully that's nice and even and straight. Push that down. And then if you didn't want this edge around the outside, you could definitely use a piece the same size as your card front. So obviously if you were doing a different shaped card, you would need to make sure that your piece that you're putting your stamped images on was actually going to line up with your card. Now, what I was also thinking is paper. Yes, she did. She wanted 2 cards. So, what was I going to say? Can't remember now. Oh, did I tag her? I didn't realise I'd tagged her in it. Thought I'd sent it by messenger. Alright, so now this obviously will sit in the middle, but that's not very exciting. So let's just really quickly go and cut that. Because I remember that the sentiments inside the set. So you could then create another frame with that. I've just cut the center out. Oh, okay. Oh, I missed it. I missed that post. Alright, so let's go. Just looking at right. What is this colour? This is called Bubble Bath. So we're just going to pop that right in the middle. And because we don't want it to look out of place, we'll put dimensionals on this as well. Maybe I'll put one in the middle. The take your pick tool is better because my thumbnails are all gone. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that in the middle there, not quite in the middle. And well, it would have been good. Always check the way that your card is going to go. You could go that way. Let me just take this off. Unless I know where to put it back. There we go, fixed. Problem? Mistake? Never. Creative. Being creative. So there is our other card. So two cards out of one. Obviously, you could have it going that way too, and pop a if you put that over the top, you could see then just like, no, that's a bit naff, Kel. I would punch out a smaller one and then pop it over to the side or something. With the deckled rectangles, you can also make them smaller by moving them. Yeah, so you could get another piece. So that is our floating frame technique. I hope you give it a go. That's what I was going to say is the Zoo Crew, if anyone has that designer series paper, or some of the other, like what's the Hues of Happiness, I think from last year's catalogue, that have got some really big hi Mary, that have got some really big images. They would be great for this, and you could layer them and just glue them on top of each other so they don't move when you cut them. But you definitely don't need to just have stamps. You could use designer series paper for that as well. Alright, 3 of the lovely ladies in the draw tonight. So let me just flip that up. We've got Jill, Andrea and Karen. Thank you, ladies. Let's see who's going to be our winner tonight. Jill again. So that you've given me one choice, Jill. Now you need to give me 2 more because you got one from last week as well. So have a look at the options that I sent through to you the first time, and let me know which other 2 you would like. so that I can get those sent off to you. I hope you guys give this a go. Remember, if you don't have the press and seal, where is it? Let me just fold this down again. Press and seal, this is what the box looks like. You could use the masking paper. Now Stampin' Up's masking paper comes in sheets. I bought this before Stampin' Up brought it out, so I want to use it before I buy Stampin' Up's one. But Stampin' Up definitely has one. It comes in sheets and it's got a backing paper on it, so you can make it as big or as small as you want. Or post-it notes is another option. You might have some bigger post-it notes, or you might just have some that they're all kind of stuck together. The other option I've just thought of is this glue here. If you have this glue, you could get a piece of probably more photocopy paper, or acetate probably wouldn't work, but because you want something a bit thinner. But this glue is called multi-purpose because it's either permanent or what do you call it, removable. So for a permanent bond, you glue it and stick it straight away. If you want it to be removable, you glue, and you could use this end to get a wide spread of it. You put some glue down and you let it dry before you put it on anything. Now that means it has to be all clear and not and so if you touch it, it's tacky. So then it's actually repositionable. It's a bit like a post-it note or masking paper. So that is something that you can do as well, is having you could use washi tape, Andrea. You could also use painter's tape, but if you're using washi tape and painter's tape, I would still recommend the same thing as I did with the press and seal stuff, in that get rid of some of the stickiness, because if it is too like, it obviously needs to be sticky for these other the purpose that it was made for, but either any of them, you just need to be able to make sure that you've got it all stuck down in a way that you're going to be able to keep it assembled. Painter's tape can be a bit tacky as well, so take a little bit of the tackiness off. Just otherwise your hard work of colouring or stamping could be ruined because it rips the top layer off. Now mine feels a little bit tacky from the press and seal, so I will get my embossing buddy and just pat my embossing buddy over the top of that, and it'll stop it from being tacky. It's not really sticky, it just, I can feel it in some parts as being a little bit sticky. Yeah. All right, well ladies, thank you for sticking with me for so long. Sorry that took a little bit longer than what I had planned on it being, or that I thought it was going to take, how long it was going to take. But I will see you at this stage on Wednesday night with a new card. I don't know if we'll do a technique or a fancy fold. I haven't decided yet, but I will let you know. I hope you have a go, and I hope that you enjoy this card. Also, I've got, for anyone who would like one, I've got the new, what do you call it? It's called the September to December mini catalogue. It's on its way to be delivered in the next week. So if you would like a copy, obviously if you're in my stamp club, you'll automatically get one, or if you've ordered from me in the last 6 months, then I will get one for you if you would like one. But please do let me know if you'd like one, so that I can get that to you as quickly as possible. It is only a short time frame that we've got that one for. It actually finishes like the 2nd of January, but they've said December is the name of it, September, and it starts on the 5th of September. This stamp set here, which I think Lisa was one that you were interested in, and the dies, no, not those dies, it comes with matching dies. That's in this catalogue that's coming up, so in September. but there's lots of other things, mostly Christmas. There's a few autumn based ones, there's a few Thanksgiving ones, and there's a few Halloween things in there as well if you do any of those sorts of celebrations. Yeah, so thank you very much. I'll stop rambling now. I hope you have a go. I'll try and do it right now. I'll pop a picture of these up so that you can post your creations if you do one, and then I will see you on Wednesday night. Bye for now.